Hey, 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 yeah, hey, what a time to be alive. I left them for dead, now I'm living right. No new friends, no new advice. That was high then, but we got bigger heights. We got bigger fish to fry. Bet on myself, then I roll the dice. Man, it ain't a gamble if you know you nice.
We're good? We live? All right, welcome back to Dawn of Dream Podcast. This is your host, R.A. Man. This is the #1 podcast in Dallas, Texas. Today we got a special episode. We got to give it to my man, Ukpono Udi.
What's poppin'?
We got the flag carrier in the building of MAXLIFE. All right. And then we got two very, very special guests. We got Tarik Turnipseed and Isaiah Burke coming all the way from the DMV, flag carriers of the SOS organization. We got Well Connected. Oh, hang on. We got to go back here. I'm going to say, we going to start here. Well Connected. We got Proactive, CEO and founder of Well Connected, CEO and founder of Proactive, CEO and founder of Full Circle.
Yes, sir.
Bro, we got a lot of excellence on here. Okay, man. So, man, so many places to even just start. I know what I would like to do is just start with y'all's background. So we're all in the financial service industry. We all have a lot of, diverse backgrounds. Why did y'all get in financial services?
Man, so for me, bro, I grew up in the Prince George's County, Maryland area. Where I come from, it's like known to have like black wealth. A lot of government employees, a lot of people own houses, drive nice cars, and it's not it's not like foreign to see black people successful for working. But I always was somebody who wanted more. I wanted to travel. I wanted to have a dream life. And I knew that having financial literacy for myself would put me in a position. So I started to learn about different ways I could grow my money, different ways that I can have it compound for myself. And then one day, an old friend of mine invited me out to a free financial workshop. I came out to the workshop. I seen people that was dressed sharp, reading books, making money. And I'm like, wow, this exists in my backyard, 15 minutes away from where I grew up. And it blew my mind. And then when they went over the information that they was educated on, I'm like, man, so many people in my community needs this information. So I decided to get started, man, and it's been history ever since.
What about you, Isaiah? Because you have a different background. Go into what you do.
Yeah, so I'm actually from the Prince George's County area as well. Not too far from Tarik in the Bowie, Maryland area. But growing up, man, I fell in love with sports. But one thing I started to realize is that I was not always the best, which means I was always in competition for whether you want to call it a spot, job. And I started to realize, like, how soon they'll replace you. Like, this is something
Bring this up close.
Oh, okay. I started to see, how soon they could replace me. And that's something that was bothering me for a long time. Like, growing up, I was always getting cut from, like, the best teams. I always had a lot of talent. At a young age, I didn't really like to work hard, so it kind of caught up to me. Fortunately, I was able to, do good things in high school, go to Morgan State, get a Division I scholarship, play basketball there. But then I was told to go to class. I'm like, okay, class is cool. I know I have to do it to, stay eligible, but I hated it because I was being told what to do, when to do it, and no one ever taught me how to work for myself. So that's when I started to realize, like, man, I'm an athlete. I'm real competitive. If I could just find a way to use my platform, my influence, then I know, like, in the business world, the sky's the limit. And then I found financial services. As an athlete, it's so important for you to know about money. A lot of agents out here are getting people jobs, getting people sponsorships, getting people certain deals, shoe deals. But what are you doing with that money? And that's when I knew, like, okay, if I could just use my platform as an athlete, teach other athletes or just people trying to escape mental depression when it comes to not being financially stable, I knew, I would have a voice. And that's where I took it. And I'm starting to see where it's taking me, especially being able to do it from Greece.
Right. I was just wanting to get in that because you play professional basketball overseas in Greece.
Yeah.
So you're doing that. That was your main gig? Your main gig still?
Yeah. So, man, it's a crazy story how I actually got there. It was really through a relationship and a connection. And I'm starting to see the power of just knowing people, not only who you know, but who knows you as well. That's how I was able to get the opportunity. But, yeah, basketball was my first option. And then I ran into this right before I left to go overseas. I'm like, man, this makes so much sense. Can I do it from Greece? I found out I just need a laptop and Wi-Fi. I'm like, all right, man, let's get started. Right, I wanted to become a student of the game, increase my identity by the books I was reading, the certain, meetings I was attending, and people like Tarik I was hanging around. I'm like, man, this is where it's at.
So what's it like to be in Greece playing professional basketball and you're also getting on your laptop, opening up, and running a full business.
Man, so as an athlete, man, you're probably only spending 5 hours in the gym a day. You go probably work out in terms of lifting, conditioning. Then you have a workout for probably about 45 minutes to an hour, treatment, and then you have practice. And then if you want to get up extra shots afterwards, you can. So that's like 6 hours. When you go home, most athletes, what are they doing? Getting on the game, social media, on YouTube, for different reasons. Of course, you can get on YouTube for the knowledge, but they're on YouTube watching probably just entertaining stuff that's not really doing anything for them. They're going out. I'm like, I'm over the water, finally by myself, where I can actually focus on increasing my mindset, growing as a person. So why not use what this business has given me to increase my identity? And man, just the books, the Zoom calls I was on, it's just like, they're not teaching this anywhere. Like, you have to be presented the opportunity. That's why what, we're all doing is just so important, because it's a lack of it in our community. And if we don't do it, nobody else will.
Tarik, you said that you found an office where they're teaching this important information that was 15 minutes from your house.
Yep.
And you walk in and you see everyone's dressed nice, making money, helping people. What attracted to you? What is it that people don't know that we have?
Yeah. So basically, I came from a background. So I started investing at the age of 19. I found a mentor. He was actually, it's a funny story. So we actually used to make music. We used to make music. Burke's make music, and I was like the manager, the CEO of the record label, right? So I remember in about 2018, my mom came home from Memphis, Tennessee. She was in an Uber. And the Uber driver told her, hey, ma'am, it's a new cryptocurrency that's out. It's called Ethereum. It's going to be the next Bitcoin. And she didn't know what that meant. But she came home and told her younger son, what the Uber driver said. So I got, probably a couple coins. I probably put like $160 in at the moment. This was in 2017, 2018. And I didn't pay any attention to it. But then probably 2 or 3 years later, we're in the studio. 2 years later, we're in the studio. We're rapping and things like that. And then the engineer of the studio, he was an Asian guy. He had about $3,000 in his Coinbase account. So I like money, so I'm like, all right, I have 160 in my account. He has 3,000. That's like 30x. He knows more than me because he trusted more to put more money. Mm-hmm. So I asked him, I'm like, man, what do you know? And he was like, yeah, man, it's Coinbase. It's cryptocurrency. You could be your own bank. Like, he was talking about being your own bank in crypto. And I'm like, man, that sounds cool. But then 2 weeks later, I seen one of my favorite artists. His name's Sauce Walker. He's actually in Texas, in Houston. I like him because he's a CEO and he runs his label and he puts other people on. So he posted a guy on social media who had 300,000 in his Coinbase 2 weeks later. So I seen 3,000, then I seen 300,000. I said, whoa. He must know something. So I DM'd that guy. DM'd him. I started asking him some questions, and he started giving me some game. He told me about a couple cryptocurrencies. Still Me Today, that's his name on Instagram. Definitely go check him out. Super grateful for him, what he's done. Definitely changed my life. And he taught me about like XRP and different cryptocurrencies, and I started investing in it. But then I also started asking him more questions, and then he said, man, if you want me to give you that game, you gotta join my mentorship. And I'm like, how much? And he was like, $100 a month. So I'm like, all right, cool, that's nothing. I'm used to investing in myself. So I'm like, all right, no brainer. Man, he taught me the game from A to Z. He was a middle-aged white guy, taught me the game. So I'm here 19, 20 years old, talking about investments and cryptocurrency. I was the crazy guy, talking about crypto and how it's gonna blow up and how we gonna get rich on crypto. I was him. I was him. So I'm like, man, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with seeing your money grow and seeing it go up and go down. But crypto hit in 2020, 2021. And I didn't take a large amount out when it went up because I was afraid to pay taxes.
Right.
So I'm like, whoa.
Because what's the tax? It's like 40.
It's like 40% for capital gains tax.
So if you make 100,000,
40K is back to Uncle Sam.
There you go.
So I'm like, whoa. I'm scared to take it out. So it ended up dwindling down not back to where I started, but it ended up dwindling down. So when I walked in that office in College Park, Maryland, they were talking about taxes and tax advantages and tax, deductions. And I'm like, whoa, they talk about taxes here? I could have cashed out on so much money if only I knew about taxes. So now that I know about these tax-free wealth strategies, man, we can educate anybody in the marketplace, because I know from firsthand experience, I was afraid to pay taxes. So, man, now was really what sold me, man. When they was talking about tax advantages, tax deductions, I already knew about investing, but that's what opened another key in my mind to say, all right, yeah, I need to learn this game.
I love it, man. Udi, what's it like to be on Zoom calls? Because y'all are in the DMV, we're in Dallas, and we're on these private mentorship calls with Matt Sapala that we qualified for, and you're in Greece. What time is it? It's like 4 a.m?
Sometimes really 5, because the MD to B call is at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
7-hour difference, 5 a.m.
So we're seeing him in Greece. We're seeing Tarik in Maryland. You and me, we're in Dallas. What's it like being on those type of mentorship calls and because we haven't really spoke. This is our first time really connecting.
Absolutely.
But we know each other.
Yeah,
like we know each other.
Yeah.
Well, what's it like having that relationship and that mentorship?
It's really solid from a lot of perspectives. Number one, you get to hear everybody else's mindset on what they're going through and what they're trying to process. Sometimes you behind their mindset and you like, dang, I needed that. I didn't even know I needed that. Sometimes you're ahead of that and you like, man, they didn't know that.
Right.
But it's crazy how like that can flip flop week to week,
Bro.
right? And it's great because sometimes that keeps you from going down the route that they may have been going down, right? So I think that it's the quickest way to minimize your losses, right? Or put your losses out there for other people to gain from them. So it's really a good give and take. So I enjoy it.
What was it like when you got introduced to these tax-free strategies, insurance, retirement planning? What was it, something that you knew about, or like?
Yeah, so I knew about it from a perspective of like I used to do a type of it, right? But I was younger and I was very interested in it. I was interested in investing, things of that nature. But I learned, but I didn't like jump into it. Like Tarik said, like he jumped into it and he was like, about it. I love that, but I wasn't that forthgoing in it, right? I was like, okay, like learn about it, understand it, info, right? But it was a lot different. It was different because like some of the strategies I've never heard of before, right? The ideologies, the thought process, things that were, debunking what people who you see on TV say over and over and over again, who have, all of America thinking that it's supposed to be this one way, right? So looking at it from a totally different perspective, it's like, okay, I like these guys because they go against the grain. Like,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like, so, and they have proof, they have proof of concept, right? That means that somebody has done it and made money and then turn around and help somebody else to do it. So like, you can't beat that.
I love it. You have been working with a guy named Simi Sola for how long?
Simi is actually the reason that I got started in the business. So that was in January of 2023. We stopped. So I was Simi's exchange leg. So essentially, I've been working with Simi since January 2023, man. It's powerful because even though I walked in to the office and I said, wow, this is amazing, I went home. I didn't get started. I went home. I said, man, I don't know. I don't want to get sold. I don't know, man. I need to think about it more. I was that guy. But I knew that it was beneficial, and I knew that I could make money in it, and I knew I was helping people, but I just needed to think more about, okay, am I ready? Because I was at a point where I wanted to recreate myself. I wanted to start dressing like this. I wanted to be around like-minded people like this, but it's a am I ready thing. So I went home, man. I went home, went to work the next day. I was a full-time kindergarten teacher, went home, went back to work, and then I got a call from Simi Sola. Well, I got a call from Noah Webster, who introduced me to that opportunity. And he was like, yeah, man, so, did you like everything? I said, yeah, man, I like it. But I was like, man, like, do I have to, like, recruit? And then why do I have to recruit? And he was like, he came from a background in real estate and sales already, so he understood contract levels and compensation. That's not really my world. So when he said, yeah, man, when you build a team, you get paid at a higher contract level. To me, I didn't really know what that meant. I said, can I just outwork the next person that has a higher contract and I make more money than them? He was like, yeah. So I was like, all right. But he three-wayed me in with Semi Sola. And Semi Sola, being more seasoned in the business, he was able to talk my love language. He said, hey, man, yeah. So, what did you like about everything? I said, man, I liked it. But, like, do I have to recruit, and why do I have to recruit? And he was like, man, so here, bro, we get paid based off the amount of impact and influence you have in your community. I said, whoa, y'all get paid based off the amount of impact and influence you have in the community? That's something that I love doing anyway. I do it for free.
Right.
So you saying I could get paid for doing that? It's a no-brainer. Let me pull up. I'm going to get started. No-brainer. So, man, just being around Semi Sola, he grew up, man, heavily faith-based. So he got me much closer to God. That's, man, 100, man. That's shout out to Semi Sola for being a positive influence, man, being a role model to me in business, because he was laying the proof of concept when I didn't have any proof of concept. When I didn't have any team, he was making money, showing it that was possible. And now it's like, okay, if I build a team, I can make money. And all I did was just duplicate Semi, the work ethic. I seen Semi hop on appointments, boom, back to back to back to back to back. I'm like, man, is this guy a robot? He's going to sleep. He's half asleep running appointments. And it's like, whoa, man, what is going on? And I used to run back-to-backs and used to take a nap. Like, man, I do one back-to-back, I'm taking a nap. I'm tapped out. But we teach here, man, endurance. It's all about endurance. These next 2 days is going to be about endurance. Waking up early, long meetings, going to sleep late, processing issues, coming back the next day. So we built endurance, and that lapse, and you put that in the marketplace in any platform, you're going to run circles around people because you're building skills and developing mindset and skills and endurance. People cannot keep up with us.
We're going to outlast you.
People can't keep up with us, bro. It's crazy.
What was it like seeing Simi go from where he was to where he is now? Because he's pulling in, what, $30K a month?
Absolutely, yeah.
And making it look easy?
Yeah, man, grinding. But it's like, man, hard work, you get that. In the right platform, PHP is the right platform where it rewards performance. If you go out there and work hard and execute and impact and educate, you're going to make money. So he's just an example of, hey, he's putting in the work, he's putting in the grind, he's self-developing, he's improving, and he's making money. That's going to be that's going to be thousands of people's story if they just commit to put in the work. That work ethic is everything. He trusts himself.
When did it switch for you? Cause there always comes a point where it's like, all right, we're doing this. We're making calls, running appointments, meeting people, building relationships. Boom, money comes in. Was
it a check that did it? Was it a person that you assisted? Was it somebody that you never thought would say, hey, I'm gonna let you lead? Like, was it? What was it?
So I would point out to two different instances. First, when I went, so I got started in January. We had our big conference in February. So I went to that conference a month after I got started.
The one with Master P?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what did it. Bro, I ran a record label. I respect Master P on how he was able to keep 80% of his company and only, boom, he owned 80% of his record label company. That was impressive. That's a poster child in business in urban America. So when he was edifying the industry that I just decided to get partnered with a month prior, and he's talking about, hey, imagine if everybody in the hood had a life insurance policy.
I remember that story, bro.
I said, what?
I got goosebumps.
I said, what? Imagine if everybody in the hood had a life insurance policy. Who's better at going into the hood in PG County than me? I'm not in the hood, but I'm one remove from it. Yeah. I don't play that route, but I'm right there. I can go out and really transition into that and make them understand it and digest the information. So he spoke to my soul. I knew my purpose in PHP, at least a piece of it, a month in business when I went to that event.
Powerful. What was the second one?
So I wasn't licensed when I went to that event. So when I held my first family, man, I helped my first family. I sat down with her. Man, I helped her set up a plan where she was able to build some cash value, but more importantly, her death benefit. She wanted her living benefits, that long-term care, that disability. She knew, hey, if I was to get sick, my kids won't have to worry about paying for my medical bills and going into debt for money, and they can save money. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars that goes into debt. So when I sat down with her and I put her in a policy, boom, she gave me a big old hug and said, hey, thank you, Tarik. Oh my God, like, I just wish so many more people knew this information. I never knew about this information. And then I got a commission check for $900. And I said, ho. I called Simi. I said, bro, I just made $900. Where did this come from?
Sheesh.
Where did this come? What did I do? It didn't feel like I did anything. They said, man, if you could get paid for doing something that you love, you would never have to work another day in your life. I don't feel like I work. We go out, we have fun. We just went out to eat, man. We prospected about 5, 10 people. Boom. Probably generate policies, points, recruits from that. We have fun while we're building a business, while we're building a lifestyle of our dreams. It's game over, bro. We found a platform to really execute. Now it's time to go all the way.
I love it, bro. I love the energy. Isaiah, when did it click for you? When did it make sense? Because you're playing basketball too.
Yeah, it's crazy because I failed my test like 5 times. And a lot of people ask me, why am I still around? So, of course, my first event was TTT2 as well. I didn't have my license, so you're really not supposed to go. I was a wild card because Chris Hart, he saw potential in what I was doing. He believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Wow.
And that's when I'm like, whoa, like, this is not normal. This is not normal. Where can you go where people see your potential and they believe in you more than you do, that they invest in you? I'm like, okay. That's when I'm like, okay, all right, it's starting to make sense. I need to see something better. Like, I go to the Calvin's office. It's cool. I'm still stuck in the mindset of, is this and that? Is this? I don't know. I don't feel it yet. I went to the event, and when I walked in the room and saw thousands of people that were just like me, I'm like, okay, now the information just has to make sense. It already made sense when I saw it, but I still needed more. I was one of those people that was hard-headed because of my background. I didn't really want to listen to too much, especially when it made sense. For some reason, I was just that type of person that I needed more. So I went and I was hearing testimonies on stage, even Vargas, how he came from a different country, didn't speak any English, but he's one of the top income earners in the business. I'm like, man, what are you doing? Like, how did this business transform you into being that type of income earner? So just the event selling me the vision on opportunity. You don't need a college degree. You can come from poverty. Everybody has the same 24 hours. Everybody has the same opportunity. Hearing the testimonies from different people, even Okafor, is what sold me. He played overseas for 2 years. Unfortunately, he's not playing anymore, but you see what he's doing. He's able to buy his parents a home where he's from in a whole different country. I'm like, this is the type of impact I would love to have outside of basketball. So the event sold me, and I was still around. Even though I didn't get paid for a while, I was still around because of the value that this business had to offer. Even coming back in the office, Chris taking me out to lunch, I'm like, this guy doesn't have to be doing this. He's really not even making any money off me right now. Why is he doing this? And that's when I'm just like, okay, these are the type of people I want to surround myself with. If people believe in me more than I believe in myself, I know I'm in the right place. So that's when it hit me. And then, of course, when I got my first paycheck, I finally passed my test right before I left. I literally had a game. I literally had a game. I can't remember who ran the appointment, but I had somebody who was looking in. Matter of fact, it was my mom. Matter of fact, I introduced my mother to the business. She got a policy before she got started. So she was losing money in her 401k. She didn't know how volatile her money was. She's paying somebody to watch her money. We educated on how, variable accounts, when you lose your money, you have to do double the work to get it back. She didn't even know this. That's why some baby boomers are still working. The late 90s dot-com era, 01, 02 a recession, 08 housing market crash, all these things, like, even my parents aren't educated on, other parents aren't educated on. So when I was able to bring this to my mom and she's like, wow, what you're doing makes sense, that's when I knew I was in the right industry. And then I got paid for helping my mom. And I wasn't even running the point. I had a game. I played a game. I played a game, came back. It was late. Matter of fact, I went out that night. I played a game, we won.
Light
I
turned
went
out.
out that night. I had fun with my buddies. I went to sleep and woke up to a text message from Chris like, yeah, check your your back office, your bamboo. You just got paid. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, what are you talking about? So I go to my bank account. It's a direct deposit. I'm like, whoa, like $2,900 just for helping my mother.
Wow.
Helping my mother.
Bankroll.
Protect them. That was the
Yeah.
other time. So I had 2 reasons. That was the other time when I'm like, dang, this is real. I didn't even do anything. I just put my mom. I was the source. I knew about the information. I told my mother and got her in front of an expert because I was brand new.
Let's go.
And I got paid. I'm like, dang, this is real from another country.
Bingo.
And
Anywhere.
I'm like, yeah, that's what sold me. I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
Sheesh.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Love it.
Let's
Love
go.
it.
Let's go.
Fresh off the
Man, Euro step,
Look.
boom, right into a direct
Heavy.
deposit.
Look.
man. That's
Oh.
what's up.
That's
That's
what
how
I'm
you
like.
do it right
What
there.
they call that, a fillet?
Yeah, man, that was lit. That was lit.
Yeah.
When did it become real for you?
For me, I heard 2 people speak at a big event. Like Tarik, I came in like a couple weeks before the first event.
August.
Yeah, August, right? So I heard Bruno speak, and then I heard Keshi speak, and them boys was on fire. I don't know who pissed them 2 off, but they was on fire on that stage, and I felt look. I wanted all the smoke that day, and I was like, bro, I think I had just got licensed, and then I was having like issues with the back end for being appointed and all that kind of stuff, right? All the red tape. But I was like, man, like Bruno's talking about his dad, and I felt that. Keshi was talking about his dad, and I felt that, and he was like, they were just both like, I have to do this for my family because I've watched for so long things be done not right to my family, right? And I'm sitting here like, dang, like this is how you gonna do a man that has been doing like that. So I felt exactly where they were coming from when they were speaking. So I was like, that's me. Like I gotta do for my family. Like gotta make this name, hold its weight, like it used to. So seeing that stripped, hearing a PBD story and how all that kind of coincides, I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Like so I was on fire.
You came back on. You've been on fire since.
Fire. So like after that, I was like, yeah, like let's run it up. And then it took me a long time, like a month, for all that situation to get sorted out. But then when it was sorted out, man, annuities helped. Like we was just running. I was like, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. Like so that first check for me was like, it was just I don't know how to say it. It was like it wasn't the check because like I was already like no matter what, like that was the type of time I was on. I was like this no matter what, like I ain't turning back.
Let's
right?
go.
Because all the people, I hit a promotion very fast, so like when I got to the director stage, like I hit all that fast. So there's a lot of people that are now aware that you're doing something different, right? And the funny thing about people is people want you to do what they think you should do, right? Anything they feel like is a highlight for you, like they want you to do that, right? Like people know that like I cook very well or whatever. I've worked in food service industry for a long time, right? Manager, all that kind of stuff, right? General manager, area general manager, all that good stuff, right? So like that's what people see you as, right? And so like when you're out on the weekends, it's it's fun time, what I'm saying? People out, Udi on the grill, Udi in the kitchen, everybody is excited. Why? Because I'm nice. However, that don't mean that that's like all me. That's all I want to do. Nor does it mean that it is the most beneficial to me, right? But it's beneficial to how everybody else feels. So they feel like, hey, you should go all in on that. But they have no clue what the toil is. They don't know what the the labor is. They don't know how profitable it is. and they only can point to people that they feel have done it and been successful at it, but they don't know what their struggle was to do that, and if those people would ever do it again, right? So for me, it's like people say, oh man, you're so good at it, you should do that, man, you wasting away. Like, nah, I'm not. Like, you got to choose what makes sense. You can go back to anything that you're talented in. That's a fact. But if you don't have the system, right? If you don't have the mentorship, if you don't have the platform, you know what I'm saying, then how are you going to be able to execute what people think that you should do talent-wise, right?
Talk to him.
You feel me?
Yes.
Like, my man's playing in Greece, right? You know, so like the reality is that I was an athlete. So being an athlete, you play high school, you play college. At some point, it's over, right?
Facts.
So like, is that just a platform, or is it a career? It's not a career. It's a platform. That's a fact. That's a fact, because you can look at a tenure of how many, it's a small percentage of people that get to any league status, right? It's about like 1%. So people that actually make a career out of it, right? That's 10 years plus, right? Because that's the consideration of a career, is at least 10 years.
Wow.
It's the lowest of numbers. So is it a career choice? Not really, right? So like that's how I look at a lot of things. Is like you have to make sense of what is going to give you the most room to grow in the avenues that you actually have talent to do, right? For instance, him talking about music. He's doing music, like, you keep on going that route. Now you just looking for cash any which way to make this one talent go, right? But if you actually built something out, now you can go back and put money into your talents and actually go and build out the vessels. It's no different than what PBD is doing right now. Like,
Yep.
all of those things he had talent in, he has love for, he has passion for, right? But he chose something that was going to make him profitable, that built out a platform, and then from there, bro,
Control the narrative.
you can't stop him.
What better way to fund your life than to build your basis in financial services, know the game of money in and out, get cash flow built up, and then, as PBD did, go into politics, go into consulting, go into media. And then, like, I see people like, y'all, get into music, get into what, if you want to do culinary, whatever it is. I mean, my passion's podcasting. Let's go. Let's run it up. So it's like, and then networking, and then eventually put on big events. I want this to be on a stage one day in front of thousands of people. I want to interview like big people, like
Name them.
bro. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Kobe, bro. It's like I missed it.
Damn.
Dang.
Like, think about who else is gonna pass away. That if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna get that point in a couple of years.
Man.
Like, I love Andrew Schultz. I love the comedian. I love Dave Chappelle. I love Joe Rogan. How cool it'd be to be on Rogan's podcast.
Yeah,
Patrick
right.
Bet-David.
Right.
Like, even Matt Sapala, Chris Hart, Curtis Seaman. Like, bro, I want to sit down with these people and give them a platform and talk to them and get game from them and give it back to the world, because what we do is crazy.
Exactly. Man, what was it for you, man? What was it for you where it clicked and said, "Hey, I'm going in"?
Bro, to be honest, man, I've been watching Patrick Bet-David for like 10 years. Like, every single one of his videos I would watch almost every day, if not every week, when I was in college.
Yeah.
And I just loved everything he stood for. I knew he was an entrepreneur, and my mindset was go get a job. So it was kind of like it was just a weird thing, but I always was open-minded to it. To the point where I actually went to php.com and tried to apply for a job.
Wow.
Like, I thought, like, I was like, Patrick, associate with PHP, I want to work for him. I was like, that's the guy I want to follow.
Wow.
I went to php.com and tried to apply for a job. That's not how it works. You got to know somebody to get introduced to the opportunity.
Fact.
So man, I was at a rough point in my life where, you know, I'm going to work every day. I got my dream job. I'm an engineer, biomedical engineer in one of the most profitable companies in the world, like the most profitable company in all of history, like 110, 115 years in a row. They've made a profit. And I see, like, my VPs at the job. And I'm like, okay, in 10, 20, 30 years, that's where I'm going to be. And they don't look happy. They got a cap. I know they're making maybe $250. And that's on the high side. So, okay, let's play the game. I do this for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I'm there. They got a boss. Their boss is flying around in private jets. It just didn't add up, bro. And I see them stressed.
Wow.
I see my boss complaining about money. It's like why are you telling me? Why are you complaining to me about money? You make like double what I make.
That's crazy.
So I'm just like, bro, it just doesn't make sense. And then my friend Tyler, my amazing long-term friend Tyler Cleveland, he's been on the pod, him and his wife, he actually introduced me to do the roofing industry because I saw a lot of people doing roofing, no background, no education, making a bunch of money in sales, going to Cancun every week, making like 20, 30, 40, 50K a month just doing roofing. I'm like, okay, let me give this a shot. I'll do this on a part-time basis. I see him and his wife doing great. I see a lot of people doing great. They got boats. They got nice cars. They got the high-rise apartment just slinging roofs. So literally,
Slinging roofs is crazy.
literally, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's go. And I hit up Tyler. I'm like, bro, put me on, man. I need to make more money. And, you know, he introduces me to roofing. I'm out. So I'm at my job, right? I'm an engineer. I got like a relatively like prestigious job. And I'm doing that. After work, I put on my roofing clothes. I'm knocking doors in the middle of Texas summer. Like, think about that. Like, that's where America's at today. Someone that went and got an MBA, got 3 engineering degrees, has their dream job at a prestigious company. After work, he's going and knocking doors in the heat.
Wow. Dang.
That's where America's at right now today.
That's strong.
So I'm knocking doors, you know, trying to get that thing rolling, get my name out there. And then I see Tyler smoking cigars with Matt Sapala. And I'm like, what is this dude doing with Matt Sapala? And I know Matt because of PBD, because I've been watching their content and getting game from them. And I see them smoking cigars. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You're with Matt? And I'm like asking him all these questions. I'm like, oh, what are y'all talking about? Da-da-da. What's he doing? What are you doing? Da-da-da. Like, and he's like, hey, come check it out. So I come, I see the office, and I'm like, I see Michael and Constance, and they're the first ones that talk to me. And I see Patrick's like video on the thing, and I'm like, is this really real? And Michael comes up to me and goes, hey, how are you doing? He's like being very nice, you know, hey, how are you doing? What's your background? I want to introduce you to somebody. I'm like, hold up, you know Patrick? He's like, yeah, we know Patrick. That like I'm like, no, you know Patrick, but David? He's like, yeah, we were just at his house. And I'm like, I just don't believe him. It just doesn't seem real to me.
Right.
So I go in, I'm talking to people, I meet Matt. I don't even remember what I said to him. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, it just didn't feel real. And he goes, hope to see you around. And I'm like, okay, this guy. He's like, because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
He's like, hope to see you around. And man, I just get started. I'm like, let's go. Patrick has given me so much value. I learned so much in 10 minutes or 30, 40 minutes, whatever that conversation was. I was like, I have no problem partnering with the firm. Patrick has given me so much value over the last decade. What's a few $100s to, you know, just try something out? Worst case scenario, they take my money. And, you know, he deserves it, man. Patrick has given me so much value. Matt's given me so much value. I had no problem just taking a risk and, you know, going out on faith. But I was frustrated, man. I was, you know, had my dream job, knocking doors in the Texas heat, bro.
Wow.
Trying to, like, find a way for my family to build a legacy, bro. Like, I come from a family of immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself. We came here, we did everything right, and we're still struggling financially. That's not, like, that's where America's at. So when we see that, okay, we can build wealth, we can pass it on, we can build the trust, we can do tax-free strategies, we can cement a legacy, and I hear this conversation, I'm like, oh, let's go. Let's go, man. So it's been fun.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's been so much. Like, I got this. The podcast is all because of that.
Let's go.
And that's crazy. You say that too, because one thing I started to learn in this business throughout the time I was in it is that this is an outlet for what your true purpose is.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing podcasts and you watch Pat, you know, go from this game to podcast. I wouldn't even have thought the way I was thinking 10, 15, 20 years from now if it wasn't for the business. And now, even on the basketball court, just knowing how to be a leader, understanding how people are, understanding how to talk to, like, the same way I talk to my big is not the same way I can talk to my shooting guard, or the same way I talk to my head coach is not the same way I talk to my assistant coach. And it came from just understanding people in this business. And now it's giving me, you know, the vision of understanding how to use this as an outlet to go and tap into my true purpose. And for me, and I was telling Reek this, I feel like it's being an NBA agent, but not just offering them deals and like really like a Rich Paul, like LeBron James agent. He's not just getting his players recognized and recognition. No, he's actually teaching them how to run a business. He's actually teaching them how to invest. He's actually teaching them what to do with their money. That's why Bronny's good.
Right.
I mean, of course, LeBron has all this money, but if it wasn't for Rich Paul, then LeBron wouldn't know where to go with business and these commercials and how to make sure his sons and kids are good. So that's why I love this business. It's an outlet for your true purpose. And I feel like mine is as an NBA agent, sitting courtside at the games, watching all my players hoop and be able to feel free when they go home knowing that if something go wrong, if they get injured, if maybe they slip up. I mean, you can't predict anything, and their contract ends. Just having something to fall back on, that's what I love about this business. It gives you, your true vision and your purpose for what you want to do after it, and the fact that you can still own your book of business when you're done and earn millions of dollars in passive income just from stuff you've done in the past. I don't know anything like it.
Wow. Make sure I'm courtside with you, man. When you
I was about to say, we take the team out, bro.
Of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bro, something
I
you
ain't gotta sit courtside. Get me right
Couple
behind
rows
you.
behind.
Yeah.
100 sections.
Yeah. Let me get this.
Dude, something you mentioned that we haven't even talked about is leadership, communication, relationships, self-development, marketing, branding. That's what everyone needs, man.
Yeah.
Why is that important? Because
that's perfect you say that. It was this quote. Chris had literally just had it in the training. They said, if your actions help people to dream more, do more, inspire others, then you're a leader. And I know if I'm going out here doing this and that, and people are following what I'm doing, then I know I'm doing something right. If I'm bringing hope in other people's lives, then I'm understanding that, wow, this is not just about me. It's way bigger than me. So the importance of leadership is not just leading people to the right thing, but actually giving them hope as well. That's my form of being a leader, is just making sure that what you're doing, other people are getting affected in a good way, to the point where they're inspired to go out there and change their lives and do the same for what, I'm doing. So that's like my form.
I'm going to come to you in a sec, Tarik, about leadership, but leadership, you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
It's like being a parent. Leadership is when someone calls you, you got to pick up. If one of your guys calls you, if you have to run an appointment, you got whatever the case, but you can't turn off leadership.
Yeah.
It is the hardest position, which is why it pays the most.
Wow.
Well, how have you developed as a leader stepping into this industry?
Man, so just I always was somebody who wanted to definitely lead by actions. So lead by actions and be the change that I wanted to see. So unfortunately in 2020, I actually lost one of my best friends, my best friend, Darian Gripper, rest in peace. He got shot and killed, gun violence, ran his backyard in his community. Man, it was a devastating experience for me. But what it did was it showed me how much of a leader he was in the community. Because I seen how people was like, hey, man, he changed my life. He put money in my pocket. He took care of his family. And I'm like, whoa, I'm with this guy every single day. In some cases, he's looking up to me. So if he has that influence on people, I can only imagine how people view me. So I'm like, all right, I need to really use this platform and do it for good. So I started sharing more, and I got more intentional about sharing the things that I was doing, the rooms that I was in, the books that I was reading, the people I was meeting, the places I was going, because I wanted to lead with hey, y'all don't have to just keep doing the same thing. You can actually go out there and expand your mindset and be around different people. And I knew that I'm changing my life for myself because I want better for myself, but also, man, I can help you change your life. So now with this platform, it's crazy because I can now get financially incentivized to help someone change their life with this opportunity. I know I can recruit somebody tomorrow, introduce them to this business. They have no background in money and finances. I lead the way. Boom, hey, this is what I did. These are the books I read. These are the meetings I attended. Pull up to Train Trainers. Pull up to big event. Now they're coming. They're getting paradigm shifts in their own worlds. They go home, go change their lives, but guess what? I benefit financially from doing that.
Yo.
Because I help them do it.
It's I know this, but when you say it, it blows my mind, bro. It blows my mind that it's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It takes work because that
it's not easy.
that skill set to persuade or influence someone to say, hey, man, I know you have work. It's Wednesday. You're going to take off of work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're not going to see your family Saturday. You're coming out here. You're paying money to come out here to have a paradigm shift. That's a skill set. To be able to drive that, to be able to influence them to come out here. But it pays so much. But it's a skill set that many people don't learn because guess what? If I have a job, all I have to do is wake up at 7:30, brush my teeth, take a shower, boom, put on my clothes, go to work. I don't have to call nobody. I don't got to check on nobody. I get home, go to the gym, go home, eat dinner, watch TV, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing all over. I don't have to call nobody. I don't got to text nobody. I don't have to do nothing. But that's why my income is going to be like this.
Easy choices.
And then at one moment, boom,
hard life.
they cut it off and cut my water because I never developed a skill set that pays what real world skills pay. So it's like, man, being a leader to me, man, is everything, bro. Leadership is everything, man. I feel like everybody is born a leader. Man, we just got to tap into that inner potential and embrace being a leader. Embrace being a leader. I say, man, to be a good leader, you first have to be a good follower. Be a good follower to a great leader. Then you'll develop into being that good leader, then a great leader. Then you develop leaders. Now you're a leader amongst leaders.
Bro, I heard this quote in a song. It said, every boss was once the best student.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
But yeah, every good leader was once a good... Bro, that is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
Guess what? Most people don't want to sit back and cut their ego down so they can listen and learn from the next person. They like, hey, man, nah, I already know everything. Well, I'm doing it my way, bro. I'm not listening. But those people don't go very far.
And it's like you said, it's a skill to influence someone. Take off work. I know you just worked all day. I need you to come to the office.
Yep.
I know you worked all day. You're tired. Come to the office.
Yeah.
I need you to come take notes and get poured into.
Yep.
But that influence and that leadership is helping someone change their whole mindset.
Yes.
It is so hard to change your mindset when, for let's say 20 years, you've been fed at school, get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job, go to school, get good grades, buy a house, take out a mortgage, have kids. Like you're spoon fed this, and then you're also, like you said, when you're at a job, you don't got to talk to nobody. You don't got to do anything. You can just be secluded and in your own little world. You don't have to talk to nobody. And think about this, man. They don't think about how powerful we are together to just have a conversation. You don't have at a job. You don't need to talk to anybody.
Nope.
You could just be in your own world, thinking about whatever you want on social media, scrolling, feeding your mind whatever it is that you want to be fed or whatever they want you to be fed.
It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. You're the sum total you're the average of the total 5 people you spend the most time with. And I realized that when I was at work, I'm like, so I started doing this business part-time. I was going to work. I was a kindergarten teacher, bro, so I'm around a lot of women. It's all women. I was probably only 3 men in the school. So, and 2 straight. So it was crazy. It was crazy. So I'm in there, and I'm like, all right, cool. I know this. I know that I'm the sum total of 5 people I spend the most time with. So I started being intentional. All right, I'm in the classroom. I'm with these 2 teachers. Boom. These 2 teachers are both complaining about their paychecks and how, oh, they better not mess up my money. And I'm like, girl, I just made $7,000 last month part-time on my business. I'm not trying to, I'd rather go hang out with Simi and Chris Hart.
Right.
I'd rather go hang out with them, man. And then that's what influenced. I said, man, I can't do this because it's gonna hinder me from getting where I want to go in the time period that I want to get there. So I'm like, man, I need to cut this off. Because environment is everything. This is a mastermind right here. Like literally TTT, it didn't even start, but it did start for us.
Oh, it started yesterday, Monday.
Yeah, we
started.
masterminding right now. I'm getting so much gems. I'm getting so much clarity on what I want to do in business and for people and for myself. I say when I get home, man, I'm gonna be the best version of myself. And I feel like this environment, this mastermind is helping me with that. Without this opportunity, bro, I wouldn't have that. I would be at home probably reading books by myself and watching YouTube videos.
Bro, I'm that's so crazy you say that because like just hanging out with y'all it's been like not even an hour.
Nah.
The energy is completely different in me, bro. Like this Curtis talks about this all the time. He says, anytime you call me, I transfer energy to you. And anytime we hear from Matt or Chris or anyone that is, in that leadership role and pouring into us, they're transferring energy to us. We then take that energy they transfer to us and go make an impact in our communities and our lives and ourselves. And being able to collaborate with people like y'all and seeing the energy that y'all have up there and then transfer it to us and then bro, it's the vibration just keep going up and up and up.
Let's go.
What does leadership mean to you? Because you came into PHP and you became a leader quick.
Yeah, leadership is it was defined for me like back in college. Just as one professor, I went to school in an area of Kansas that is predominantly Anglo. So he was the only black teacher there, right? So and he was like super hard on black students, but it was for a reason, right? So and older gentleman, civil rights, Buffalo Soldier, all these kinds of things. So he's very, pro-black, if you will, right? But he was a great professor, and he just said, there's the difference between leadership and management is, leadership is an art form, management is a science, right? So you can study management, you can study how to manage people, you can study it, and you can have a system of management. But leadership is really an art form because, everything is low key freestyle. Because once you meet a person, that person is different than another person, right? Now you can start to categorize people in, so that it makes it easier for how to deal with. But specific people are different, and so when you're leading people, you have to genuinely be authentic every single time, right, to that canvas, because you're now painting a picture for this person to see themselves in a different light, right?
Wow.
So it's an art form. So you have to be very artistic when you come to that, that canvas and look at this person and say, dang, this person believes in me for whatever they see. It could be the money, right? It could be your style. It could be how you speak. It could be anything, right? But at that point, you have to get them to see themselves in you, right? And then see themselves outside of you doing it by themselves and be comfortable to be themselves. So leadership to me is an art form.
That was probably the best description of leadership I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was powerful, man. I can't wait to watch it over and over again when this episode comes out, man.
That's a real.
I want to open the floor. What questions do y'all have for each other? For me, I want y'all to have the opportunity to take the floor and be able to paint that canvas.
Look, I want to know you guys' culture, right? Because I feel like culture really leads how people move, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we max, but SOS is solid and comes from that. So I feel like it's like a twin culture, right? So I want to know just like how that culture is over there, how you guys vibe, how you guys feel. Like, let's talk to me.
Let's paint the picture. So our mentor Curtis Seatman and your mentor Chris Hart, they blew up in the business together, doing great things, and so they have a extensive background with each other.
Yep.
So Chris Hart is out in the DMV area, and Curtis Eatman is in the Dallas area. So we already know the vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to that. What's the culture like?
Man, it's very competitive, man. Very competitive. Very fun. It's fun, man. Like, you come in, people brand new, man, and they come to pregame, and this is where we, get the energy right before our actual meeting where we invite guests out, and they're coming in and they see people dunking, and they see bats swinging, and they see people yelling, and it's
dunking.
Crazy. Yeah,
bat swinging.
Man, bat swinging, kicking soccer balls, man, playing defense. It's crazy. So we like having fun. We like competing, but at the end of the day, it's a family. We know, man, I'm going to call you out in the beginning of pregame, but when BOM's done and I'm closing your guest for you, yes, I'm in a call out with you, but I'm going to close your guest and make sure you get a new personal direct and make sure you get that policy written up because that's what your guest wanted. Yeah. So it's like a very genuine bond and it's a genuine culture, and that's set from the top. It's not a lot of backstabbing and going around. It's like we're very straightforward. Hey, boom, he writes a policy on somebody, and maybe, you know, I wasn't around, but he know I ran the first appointment. He's splitting me on a policy. It's because that's the honesty, that's the culture that we have. It's very honest, it's very genuine, and we know that, man, what you give is gonna get back tenfold. So, man, it's a phenomenal positive energy, man, but it's competitive at the same time. God definitely has his hand on that office, man, for sure, and on the company as a whole.
I don't even know how to explain it any better. Like, that was literally what it is from the top to the bottom. And like he said, even though we're in competition, just having the integrity to trust somebody to close business for you. Even like when we are breaking the floor and we're calling people out, people are fighting to get their time to call people out. But it's like you're being competitive to build your business. And it's multiple times people I'm in competition with ask me to ask me for leverage. They come across somebody that's an athlete. Even though we're in competition, I'm gonna do my very best to make sure that I give their client or guest or whatever what they're looking for. And just having that in an environment like that it's amazing. And he didn't even tell you how he got baptized. He didn't even tell you how he got baptized. Most of our office, we all go to church together. And understanding somebody like Chris, family-oriented, faith-based man, you don't really find that.
Nah, not at all.
And you might have to tell your story about it, the baptized.
Yeah.
We got to. Go ahead.
I mean, hey, man, I'm on the spot, I guess, man. So,
I'm not going.
So last month, man, so I've been going. So I got invited out to the church by Semi. We went to a singles night. This was like last year. Boom, he invited me.
Singles night,
Yeah,
huh?
singles night. Yeah, man, it was crazy, man.
And living, check it out.
So we in there, man. We prospected, going crazy. It was fun. It was a fun environment. And then I ended up going to church the next day. This was April 2023, last year. And then when I went in there, man, it was like a church. From what I remember, I didn't grow up going to church. It wasn't big in my, family. Oh, we going to Sunday church? No. It was like, hey, boom, we're living life. So essentially, when they was inviting me out to church, it was like, it was cool. But I remember going back in the day, maybe a couple times.
What it was. It was cool. When you say it was cool, you was like, nah, I ain't doing that. Like,
So look, right? So man, what I remember being a young boy. I remember an old guy standing on the stage yelling at people, trying to catch his breath. Like he was like, he was saying the word like
whooping.
Yeah, like
whooping.
he was like, he was who. But then like people like getting like the Holy Ghost in front of me. So like boom, people like shaking, and I'm like young, I'm scared. It wasn't the most welcoming experience for me. I didn't really understand it. I'm like, all right, this is kind of scary. I'd rather not. So didn't grow up going to church at all. But then when they invited me out to Union Church, man, totally different experience. I walked in, and just to see the pastor, Stephen Chandler, it's like, man, this is like a personal development seminar. But he's referencing biblical principles, and similar how Matt references a lot of biblical principles when it comes to wealth. I didn't even know none of that existed because I'm so used to people just talking about the devil, but it's very wise principles in the Bible. So I'm like, whoa, I'm getting better as a man by being here. I want to come back. So I've been going to the church for the past year. About this year, I told myself, man, I'm going to definitely dedicate more time to God and increasing my faith and things like that. And last month we had our Fast Start School, April 20th. Maurice and Tori Hansberry flew in. So they flew in, and then it was like a men's night. It was a men's night that Friday night, boom, Fast Start School that Saturday. So it was a men's night, boom, we in there. Chris, Maurice, it was me, Marcus Anderson. There was a bunch of guys there from SOS. And I'm in there, man, and I'm feeling it. And I tell Chris, I'm like, man, I'm going to get baptized next month. Like when they have the baptisms, I'm going to get baptized. And I was telling my mom, and I told my aunt, I told a lot of people that I was going to get baptized next month. So boom, fast forward, next month comes. Boom, Sunday. So we in there. No, I'm not in there. I oversleep. It was crazy day, right? I woke up, it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day. I'm like, dang, I need to go get my mom a gift. Like, I'm slacking, man. It's 8:50. I need to go do something with my life. So I'm in there, and then I get a text from Basina Hart. And she say, what location are you getting baptized at today?
Oh, Lord.
I said, whoa. I felt pressure right there. You got a chairwoman texting you, talking about getting baptized. And yes, she's a chairwoman, but for me, she leads thousands of people, and she influences thousands of people on what she does. So to have her text me, talking about when I'm going to get, where am I getting baptized at? I'm like, dang, I wasn't even about to get baptized today. So I didn't text back because I didn't know how to respond. So then one of my downlines, Jody, man, I invited him out to church. The last week, he said he had an out-of-body experience. He was crying in church, everything. It was crazy, right? Boom. And then he texted me and said, yeah, man, where you at? It was like 10, so this is 2 hours later. I usually go to the 10:15 service. It's 10 o'clock. I'm still in my house. No clothes on, no nothing. He like, yeah, man, I'm here. He said, you here? You here? Ain't you getting baptized today? I said, shoot, I did say I was, but I don't think I'm getting baptized today. But I didn't text back. I said, yeah, I'm pulling up. He said, what service? 12 o'clock. Boom, so I go on the 12 o'clock service, right? Boom, I go in, finally make it out. So I'm in there. I asked the lady, I said, yeah, I want to sit in the front. So I sit in the front row. First time sitting in the front row of church. It's crazy. So I'm in there. Boom, I'm in there. All right, cool. It's a financial series. So he's talking about money and finances and wealth. Man, he's talking about how, man, we need to provide more value to the marketplace and solve more problems to make more money.
Wow.
The whole time I'm thinking about, man, I could get all these people coded to PHP. That's all we do. That's all we do. So I'm having a paradigm shift right now. I'm like, I'm about to get so many recruits from this series when this is over. So I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, cool, boom. But then the closing message comes, and he always closes it out with a prayer.
Gotcha.
He closes out with a prayer. Normally, man, that prayer, bro, I close my eyes, I hear it, but I don't internalize it. But that day, I closed my eyes, boom, and some like hit me, like stab, boom, in my heart. And I hear every word, like word for word, like it's highlighted, like bold letters. So I'm like, dang. But I got up, boom, went out, about to go home, go get my mom some flowers, some food, take her for Mother's Day. But then the guy stopped me outside. He like, yeah, man, you sharp, man. You look fresh. What do you do for work? He said, you always looking fly, man, when you come. What do you do for work? I'm like, is he prospecting me? Like, what's going on? And he's somebody, he works for the church. He's like, kind of like when you think of hockey, maybe he's up there in the church. So I'm like, I respect him. I don't know him like that, but I respect him because he's like a spiritual mentor, I would say, even though I don't know him. So boom, he's like, yeah, you sharp? I'm like, yeah. So I run my own insurance agency. I teach people about money and finances, and I train other people on how they can do the same thing and earn additional income while doing it. Boom. So everything generational wealth. And he said, wow, man, you ever thought about leading a group in the church? So I said, people have told me about doing it. Like, people come up, man, you should lead a group at Union. You should lead a group at Union. But for me, man, I felt like that was a responsibility that I would have to get closer to God, and maybe I'm not ready for that. So I kept just pushing it off, even though I know that I'll do good at leading it because that's what I like to do. So I'm like, man, you selling me on this. Why not? So we go back in. We register in to lead the group. I'm doing all the things. I'm checking the boxes. It said, like, where are you at in your spiritual journey or something? So it was like, I'm committed to Jesus. I'm recommitting. And I'm like, do you got to be baptized to lead this group? I said, man, do I have to be baptized to lead this group? And he was like, no, not necessarily, but have you been baptized? And I said, nah, man, but I've been thinking about it. And he was like, oh, we have all the stuff here today, man, for you, ready to go. And I said, I'm trying to think like, oh, nah, I need to go get my mom stuff for Mother's Day. Like, I'm trying to get a way out of it. But, like, it's all on my face and I can't move. I'm sitting there right there and, like, I'm just like I can't say nothing. Yeah, I can't say nothing. I don't have nothing to say. I don't have no objections to say. So I'm like
what was it, a BOM?
Yeah, like what?
I didn't even know it.
I'm at the closing table. I don't have no objections. I might as well just
can I
whip
see
out
your
the
card?
199. So I'm like, man, I have no objections. If I was to like leave this guy's presence, bro, I would be denying God. That's how I'm like, all right, boom, nah. Why not, man? Why not? Let's do it. Boom. So for me, I'm thinking the baptism for like, oh, I'm gonna invite everybody out and people's gonna see it and it's gonna be good because it's public. But that's not even how I move anyway. I like to get things done and then kind of like let it be known when I want it to be known. So it was a perfect setting. There was probably one person in PHP that was there, and then he recorded it. And I got my stuff, man. I changed in the bathroom. I'm like, man, this is wild, man. So I'm praying in the bathroom, changing my clothes. I'm like, this is a big step for me, man. It's a big step. Go out there, boom, get in there. He's talking to me. He like, yeah, man, why you committing? And I said, man, I've done some things in the past, that I'm not, happy about. And I'm at a point where I definitely want to recreate myself and just start brand new and just continue to do what I'm doing, man, with those old sins away and gone. Boom, put me in the water, came up, and man, it was a phenomenal feeling, man. It was just a blessing, and I know now I have that much more pressure to go out there and really go do what I need to go do for my life, for others' lives, and I can't wait to see what God, how He wants to use me in this world, man.
Beautiful story.
God got him.
Yeah, he got
drew you in with the finance talk. I love
man,
it.
God got
said,
me, man.
Pastor, I need you to talk about finance today.
God got me, man.
I need to get this one real quick.
He got me, man, and I'm so glad to be God, man.
Yeah,
like when people say, "Hey, man, you in the pyramid scheme, man," I mean, bro, I got closer to God. I make money. I help other people make money. I teach people about money and finances and how to lead better. I guess they did get me, man. They got me. They got me. They got me.
Lord.
So,
Let me check my bank account, though.
I'm blessed,
I'm
man.
good.
I'm blessed that Simi definitely set that good example. Chris set that good example, man. And I can't wait to just impact many other people because it's a beautiful thing.
Do you feel a weight off your shoulders?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's crazy, man. I've moved so light. I move so light now. It's like what are we thinking about? It's like everything that's happening is, I'm not thinking about it. It's just happening. I'm going to put in the work and wake up when I need to wake up and go do what I need to do. But at the end of the day, God is controlling everything. And all I got to be is be open to be used. So I want to continue to be a student and learn, because people can have more wisdom than me in that area. So I'm like a FA, man. I'm an FA, man. So I'm trying to grow and develop, man. I'm leading a little bit, but I can still get better. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
That's exciting. What was it like when you saw Vecina again?
When I seen her again?
Yeah, after you
like,
didn't respond.
Yeah, I'm like, man. I ended up texting. I said, man, I'm at Flowers. She was like, dang. And when I seen her, like, she was just like, dang, you ain't let us know. And I was like, it was impromptu. Like, it was a spontaneous, baptism, like, man, it was spontaneous. And yeah, but I'm just super thankful that I have that accountability in my life. Like mentorship of that nature. That didn't have nothing to do with recruits, apps, points.
Nope.
Nothing. But she texted me at 8 o'clock in the morning, concerned or thinking about my well-being and my spiritual walk. So I'm super grateful, man. Yeah. I can't. It can't be beat. It can't be beat. It can't be beat.
What's it like working with Chris and Vecina Hart?
Man, you see an example of excellence every single day. Every day. From the time they wake up, boom, they working out. Boom. The house at home, they got nannies, they got tutors, they got all types of stuff. They come in the office. Like Chris Hart, people would say, oh, he make all that money off of y'all. People would think that. But every single month, personal pay points, he's number one in the whole hierarchy. He's number one. He leads from the front. He's not a leaner like, hey, I'm going to make my money. No, he leads from the front personally, and he sets that example now. He makes everybody chase that. That's a leader. So we see that every day. We was just talking last night before we left the office. It was about 11 midnight. And I'm like, to be honest, bro, when it comes to successful businessmen, you're the first successful businessman I ever met.
Wow. Wow.
The first one. And we have so much direct access to him. You could go into his office whenever you want. You could ask him questions whenever you want. You could call him. He could be in an appointment. He's going to say, hey, man, I'm in an appointment. You good? He's not even going to say, I'm in an appointment. Let me call you back. He's going to say, you good? All right, cool. I'm going to call you back. It's like, man, so who am I to not do that for my guys?
Yeah.
He got thousands of people on his team. I probably got 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, he sets the perfect example, and he's not perfect, but he's a hell of a guy. And for seeing it the same way, the way that she, a mother at home, and how she comes and works the business, and how she mentors women, and how they get together people at the house, and we do fun things and culture and just bonding. It's like when it comes to community building, like I know SOS Future is going to be like a school one day. SOS is going to have a school where all the kids, Lil Legend and them, and Kind Daughter and all that, and our kids, they all going to grow up together. And they all going to be with high standards and thinking about business and thinking about positivity because of the standards that was set, man, by the leaders in the office. So it's a great example, and it's only going to do better for those who's watching and those who's actually following, because he's setting that example, but somebody's going to come in and even outdo that, because that's the nature of the beast. Somebody sets the bar, boom, but then you breed a giant who outdoes that. But guess how much impact on the world that's going to have?
Wow. Yeah.
It's impact because somebody made a decision to go out there and lay it on the line and sacrifice. He missed birthday parties. He missed baby showers. He missed all that stuff. But it's like, it's all worth it because he's giving an opportunity to guys like us, to ladies like, people on the team. And, man, it's unmatched. I pray that Chris gets everything that he wants because of what he does for us. It's game over, man. He gave us a platform, bro. It's game over, bro. He gave me a platform to go out there and literally accomplish every goal and dream that I have for myself and for my family.
That's crazy. What about you, Isaiah? What's it like having access to Chris, having that relationship?
So I've never seen someone at this capacity, the success that he's having, treating everybody the same. Like, of course, he'll have those people, like, he'll put more effort into that are working harder, but he doesn't have favorites. And what I mean by favorites is he's not picking and choosing who he's going to pick up the phone to, who he's going to answer to, who he's going to give his time to. Like, he treats everyone equally. And that's why I really love what he's doing, because it's showing me that we all do have the same 24 hours. We all do come from similar backgrounds. And when you're in this type of environment, you have to show everybody the same amount of respect and love just to make sure they stay around. And just him working out, like he said, in the morning, like, I know from an athlete's perspective, it's hard. Then, dude, you're getting like 4 hours of sleep a night.
Right.
You have kids, right? You're getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. I look at myself in the mirror like, dang, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm scratching my head. I'm like, bro, this dude is making this amount of money. He's leading this many people, and he's still going. Why isn't he tired? Why isn't he fatigued? You get what I'm saying? And having that person in your corner leading by example, I feel guilty if I get up and not lead my team the way he's leading all of us. I would feel guilty. I see it every day. It's not one day I don't see him grinding. And he's big on rewarding too.
Yes.
Rewarding.
Yeah.
So right now we have something going on where if we have a certain amount of guests or a certain amount of people on our team, like associates, busting seats, that he's giving out rewards, Jordans, iPads, Apple Watches, spa days,
Trips to New York,
Cancun.
That's
That's not a company thing.
Nope.
Bag talk.
That's not a company thing. And the fact that he's doing that, like, you don't have to give anybody a spa day, a pair of Jordans.
Right.
We're qualifying to grow our own business.
Right.
And we're qualifying to grow our business, and you're rewarding us for that. That's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not normal. And seeing that every single day, man, I'm just becoming a what is it? Something of my environment.
A duplicate. Yeah, it's
of my
like you're a
environment.
product of the environment.
Yeah, I'm a product of my
It's
environment.
like the recognition. That's what you're supposed to do for your team.
And
I want so many things. That's what you do for your team.
yeah, and I'm across the country. He's calling me every single day, like literally every single day. I'm like, bro, like you have people in the office. Why are you calling me in Greece, 7 hours away? I'm like, okay, it's making too much sense. Like I have to follow and do exactly what he's doing because there's no one else in my corner doing what he's doing. There's nobody else. Like he said, the first black successful. There's nobody in my corner.
You didn't even say black. You said the first successful businessman.
Yeah. First successful businessman. My apologies. But first successful businessman doing something with themselves. And that's something I want to be around. I had to separate myself. I had to make sacrifices. Like, even when I first came home from Greece this past week, I told Reek, like, I came home, I was in the office, but I went to go see a lot of my friends, hang out with a lot of people that aren't really doing well for me. Like, they're not doing anything to help me grow. That's when I had to flip that switch and just think about all the times Chris told us, like, you're going to have to make sacrifices. Like he said, miss birthday parties, miss, weddings, graduations.
Bro, I hear you.
And I'm just, I had to reflect. I'm like, man, like, he talks about this every day. Why am I being hard-headed? It's working. I'm seeing it's working. He's being successful. He's flying across the world. Like, just do what somebody successful is doing. And having him in our corner, it's like, bro, you're going to win if you just follow the guy. Do exactly what he's doing. And you're going to win. Don't fight against the grain. Don't think you know it all. Don't be hard-headed. Like, just do it. And guess who he followed? Pat.
Yep.
I'm going to follow him. He followed Pat. And someone else is going to follow me. And that's how it's going.
It's a superhero making machine.
Yeah,
Facts.
seriously.
I was telling somebody early yesterday, I said, man, to see what Pat is doing right now, boom, like how he's just, man, it's crazy what Pat's doing. But I said, man, the only difference between Pat and a Chris or a Matt is that Pat has been building in financial services, building since 2001.
2001, yeah.
2001.
The day before 9/11.
Matt was selling, but he wasn't building.
Right.
Matt started building in 2015. Chris started building in about 2013, 2014. The only difference between them and Pat is Pat has 20 years, they have 10 years. In 10 years, they will have that same microphone, if not bigger, because of the platform that was established. But guess what? Matt, Chris, Curtis, they have guys under them who over the next 5 years is going to have even a bigger microphone. I want to be that flag carrier. I want to be that top guy. I always say, yeah, man, Chris is my right-hand man. He is my right-hand man, but like, I may not be his right-hand man, but it's like, he my right-hand man. Mm-hmm. Who do I spend more time around than Chris? Who do I ask more questions than to Chris? No, it's Chris. He's my right-hand man. So the fact that my right-hand man is a multi-millionaire who's leading thousands of people, that's what I want to be. So that's what I'm going to be because I'm spending the most time with him.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
One thing that's like crazy to like witness is something y'all touched on is Chris is good. Matt and Sheena, they're good. Mm-hmm. Like they're like Matt and Sheena, they're making 1.8 passive. They can walk away.
Passive.
They don't have to be there every morning. They don't have to be there, but they're there every day before everyone. They're there at meeting after the meeting, long meeting after the meeting, taking people to cigars, pouring into you, spending time, doing the licensing training, doing this, doing that, hosting sales leadership conference.
Right.
They don't need to do that.
Right.
They don't they're good. They did it. But same with Curtis. Like he has a family. He has businesses. He has 4 kids. Like it's like, yo, you're good. You can step away. You can go play golf. You can retire. No, let's get 4 hours of sleep. Let's go hit the gym. Let's go lead. We're going to work till midnight. We're going to do it again and again and again because it's all about impact. It's all about it's all about how many. It's not about you getting to the promised land. It's how many people you're bringing to the promised land.
Yep. Because you're not judged.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
That's fire.
Yeah.
You're not judged based upon what you did. Yep. It's like who you did it for. You know what I'm saying? What Jay-Z said, he was like, Beans made millions.
Ye made millions. Just made millions.
Yeah.
Leor made millions. Cam made millions. Beans would tell you if he wasn't in his feelings.
Like,
I done made more millionaires than a lotto did.
Bro,
nah, for real. That's my favorite joke. That's my favorite quote.
That's
my
facts.
favorite quote in any
bro.
song.
Like if you look at the business, like
Facts.
it's gonna be the same thing. Like
It's the
bro,
same
like
thing.
people quit on me, but I still made them money. Like
Mm.
that's a.
Oh, my God.
And so at the end of the day, so many people can say like, oh well, he was this and he was that, but you could never say that that person didn't play an important role in your life.
Mm.
They didn't bring impact to your life, and they didn't help you get to another level of you that you probably wouldn't have seen had you gone any other route. So like, bro,
Yeah.
like
It's a powerful machine.
I
man.
get why like the whole year of the flag carrier, right? Like I get why flag carrying is so important because like so many people on the outside looking in will say like, nah, you wanna you gotta be the man. Like y'all all like wanna be under somebody. I'm not about to be under nobody.
Right,
It's like,
right.
bro, like
You missed it.
You
missed it.
You so lost trying to be the man. The highest thing on you is the title that you put on your IG page, brother.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't got nothing to show for it.
Nope.
You don't got no lineage to show for
Right.
it either. Nobody want to follow somebody that know that you're out for yourself. Nobody wants to follow that.
Man.
So to know that you got people that like legitly day in, day out in front of their clientele will act the same as if you guys are in the office.
Mm.
Say your name like they know it, and they really just started, connecting with you. Think about how removed Matt is from us. Like really think about that. Like he's far removed from us
Right.
in reality.
50,000 a month.
Like in reality, but exactly, you doing 241
A month?
a month.
A month?
In a month.
You're removed
Right.
from the people that you're helping in reality, but at the same time, like he is intentionally planning himself with us so that he will never be removed from us. So like his care is still for the people that he's built up, but at the same time, like he puts so much accountability on them that his care is really for those who are just coming in,
Right.
those who are trying to come up, right? So like, it's nuts to me.
Man.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's a
because
beautiful. It's a beautiful system. It's a beautiful system, man.
and I've been a part of a lot of systems, and it's hard to say that all of them were like that, right? Certain ones are not like that, and I think even more so like than just the overall company, like the specific people that we work with.
True.
Yo,
That's
that's
True.
like
We
ain't nobody
blessed.
gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. Like to know the identity of Matt, to know the identity of Chris Hart, to know the identity of Curtis Eatman, right? And all their respective their wives, bro. Like they're
Yeah.
they're different.
Okay.
They're
Gotcha.
different. They're different.
It's when you see the type of women that are on those stages that are with those type of men. It's like, okay, that's the type. That's what I want.
Exactly.
That's the goal I
We've
want.
been
I want to
talking
be
about
that. And I want to get into that because
We've been
we got
talking
girls. I think y'all are single, so
Yeah.
I want to get into that mindset. But it's like, okay, I see that relationship. I see that family. That's the American dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream, and it explain, because I don't really know Vecina like that. We know Spring, and Spring is like a beast. Like when it comes to energy, when it comes to anytime she speaks to me, I'm ready to run through a wall. Like every single time, I'm ready to run through a wall, and it's almost like I didn't realize that there was such like I've always had powerful women around me. I've always had powerful women. My mom, one of my old bosses, / mentor. I've always seen powerful women in my life. But coming in and being able to be led by Curtis and Spring Eatman, it's like, okay, I can go to the man for the more like testosterone side of things, the more masculine side of things, and then it's like, okay, if I have something going on with a girl or like more feminine side, I can go to Spring, and it's like that yin and yang is there. Speak to the power of what Vecina Hart brings to the SOS organization.
I'll speak from a standpoint of being able to connect with the youth or just it doesn't matter what age. Like my mom's 60 years old. She did her fast start. She had my mom ready to come through the phone. And I'm just like, yo, mom, like I never really seen you like this. How is Vicina someone who's, you know, late 30s, you know what I'm saying, kids? How are you able to connect with somebody who's pretty much about to retire? Then I have people I bring to the business that, you know, were coming from school, junior in college, sophomore in college, senior in college. Then her getting them to jump out their seats. It's like the fact that you can connect with any generation and give them some type of motivation. How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you understand how we act? How do you understand how they act? Then people your age, kids, non-kids, like, then I don't understand. But the fact that she's able to connect with everybody, and people are literally ready to stop the world to hear what she's saying, is powerful. So just the fact that that's how I see it. Like the fact that she's able to connect with the youth. She's cool, she's fun, she's turned, she'll laugh, joke.
Funny, yep.
She knows our lingo.
Yep.
Then she can switch it up and, you know, keep it literate and stuff, like with the, you know, the baby boomers and everything like that. That's what I see that really stands out the most.
Yeah, man. We would call it, man, gas. She's gas. Gas is like, she's the ish. And it's gas because essentially, like, she's funny and like she's outgoing and loving and caring. She's a mom at the end of the day, but like she's like your sister, a big sister, but also she's gonna hold you accountable.
Exactly.
So it's not like you just out here because, like, man, I'm hearing Burke say, you know, treat everyone equally. Burks is a player. So he's a player. He gets favor because he's a player. Not all people get your favor. Trust me. So essentially, man, to have that accountability, though, is everything. It's everything because she's still been being developed by Sheena, being developed by Pat, being developed by Jen. So it's like, I don't know Jennifer. I don't even really know Sheena that much. I probably had 1 or 2 conversations with Sheena Sapala. So I don't know her that much, but I know that Vicina, she personally develops. She reads books. And when she wants, she can go deep and have you in your feelings ready to cry and like get you emotional. Like when she gets in her jam and like boom, when she's closing out trainings, it's like, man, she goes on for about 5-10 minutes. People be ready, people be crying. Cause it's like she has that. It's like boom, she's been in this business for 10 years. She wasn't always like that probably. She worked as a sales rep, boom, sprint, but just seeing how years of compound development, mentorship, accountability, growing, challenges, ups and downs on the woman aspect. I know Chris is like, boom, Chris. He gonna jab you, drive you, motivate you, lead. But it's like, but seeing that she doesn't do recruits absent points. She doesn't. She don't do recruits absent points. But she drives in a totally different way that makes you still want to go do recruits absent points. So it's just a different leadership style. But the fact that she can turn it on and drive you, it's a driving skill. And she knows how to drive and she knows how to hold you accountable. And it's in a loving way. And they care. You know, at the end of the day, they care. At the end of the day, they care. They gonna before they write it off, she's gonna process it with you. Like, okay, cool. All right, you can't go to TTT. All right, you getting licensed?
No,
you said
licensing is
2
crazy.
weeks.
Licensing
Hold on, like,
is crazy.
So she do licensing every BOM. Boom, we go over licensing. So hey, I'm at 44%. Or let's say I'm at 100%. Oh, we clap it up for 100%. I booked my test for May 28th. Shit, look like May 28th. It's May 15th. Why are you waiting May 28th? Boom, change that date. Change that. Everybody like, change that date. Now it's like, change that date. He's getting peer pressure to go make money faster.
Wow.
It's like, boom, change that date. Hey, go see Kara. She's in the back. She raise your hand, Kara. Boom, Kara raise her hand. Boom, he go change that date. Come back next BOM. He got license. Oh, now he got license. Ready to make a check.
And then you get the love.
Now you get the love, the recognition. So it's like, man, showing people that they believe in you. Like, even when you're nervous of even taking a test, it's like, no, believe in yourself because she believes in you because we believe in you. And that's, man, it's great to have in your corner. When we ask people, like, who do you have in your corner? These are the people we have in our corner. That's a hell of a corner.
Yo.
If we in a boxing ring and you going back to your corner And you got Curtis, even Spring, even Sheena, Sapala, Matt, Pat, Chris, Messina, Alan Swazer. They all in your corner. Who do the other person have in their corner, man? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. It's a hell of a corner. Their boss, manager, supervisor.
Oh, no.
It's a hell of a corner, man. I don't think they could keep up with you. So as long as you don't get out that ring and throw in a towel, even when it get hard, man, you're going to look up and we're going to be some powerful individuals and we're going to lead some powerful movements. And we're going to do it together because we running, man. This is just the beginning, bro.
It's been a year.
It's just,
It's been a year. It hasn't even been a year for Udi.
It hasn't been a year for me.
It hasn't been a year. Bro, like, okay. One thing I want to get back to is y'all talk about at pregame calling people out.
yes.
Like from the beginning, get go.
Yeah,
What
let's
do
talk about it.
What are we doing?
Let's talk
What's that
about it.
like?
What's
Man,
the call
What we
out
calling
like?
out? What we
What's
calling
the call out
out?
Man,
like?
pregame.
Give us some good little details.
Man,
Give us
I
some
can pull it up. Can I pull it up? Can I pull it up? I want to pull up my badge
You
up.
gotta show the clip whenever he pulls up. You gotta connect it to.
Okay,
the
okay.
Yeah, we got
I'm
it.
about to pull up my man
Pull
Kobe.
up
joint.
that clip.
Kobe cranked it. This one, man. This is
Pull up
history.
the clip.
This is history, man. I'm not gonna lie. This was history. Now this was when BOM was light back in the day. They don't even be that light now. This was
Put it
last
close to
year.
the mic. Put it close to the mic.
Hold on. So boom, we do the breaking the. No, we don't break the floor yet. We do like pregame where somebody share their story
Yeah.
for about 15 minutes. And then so from 6:30 or 9:30 to 9:45, 6:45, boom, somebody's doing pregame. Then we go over the rows, and then boom, call outs. So we always have like 5-6 minutes for call outs. Sometimes not even that. This is my man Kobe calling out somebody named Mikael Fisher. Hold on, you see how they jazzed it already?
Nah, I need to be there.
I already got one today, but we're not gonna count that. We're gonna start from midnight tonight to the end of July. Personal recruits, but I'm not done. Y'all know me and my brother just run out of cubicle, right? I like real estate, but that's not prime real estate. I need that cubicle right there.
Come on, boys. That's not prime real
That's
estate.
not how real estate. Hold on.
He born early.
Hey, early.
That's not prime real estate. I need that cubicle right there. By Sonny Sola and Chris Hart. Austin and James. Let me call y'all out too.
She's scared. Yeah, nah, we're not doing that.
You're not, and you can stay there with that. No. 7 o'clock, y'all, let's go.
She ran from it. He said, man, that's not even prime real estate, man. He said, I already got one for the day, but we ain't even gonna count that. We not gonna count that, man. From midnight to night after BOM. From midnight tonight to July.
Jump off if you want
Man, and it's just, man, it get
I
crazy,
love
man.
it.
It get crazy. Like, that was last year, man. That was probably one of the most, because we did call him out. We plotted that one. We was like, man, we want that. We want that joint. But nah, man, it's different, man. It's competitive. Man, we driving it. It's official. Let me see another one. I got a couple more of these joints.
I remember my first call out. I didn't even, like, I'm so competitive that when I went into the office space, I would kind of feel bad if I came off too aggressive. So I got pushed in the circle. I don't know who pushed me in the circle, but like when I first got started, I was standing back. Everybody knows I play basketball. Like I went to an HBCU. It's like ghetto basketball kind of. So like everything was real physical. I'm always like in a dog type of mindset. So like coming into business, I didn't want to come off too aggressive. So I stayed back just observing. I got pushed into the circle, and I sort of had to ease into the call out. And they came off. I can't remember who it was, but they came off aggressive. I'm like, okay, this reminds me of being an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, bet. Like, let me tie my laces.
athlete.
Let me pull up my shorts. Let me flip it a couple times so my shorts get higher. They can see
Yeah.
my quad muscles. All right, bet.
Yeah.
Let me get down to my stance, my athletic stance. I'm like, all right, cool. So it gives me a reminder of how it is.
What was the
playing-
call out?
It was personal rep.
Did you
Apps,
win?
points. Yeah, I won.
Okay.
Yeah, I won.
We
Yeah, I
don't
won.
lose call-outs.
Yeah,
We don't lose call-outs very often. So, boom, we got Caesar, man. Caesar, he got a bass shop called LAL. He calling out the SOS bass shop.
Okay.
The SOS bass shop. And you know, we jump right there.
PMDs. I don't care if it's same leg.
Bring it close up here.
Most PMDs. And here's what I want.
He got his squad, we got our squad.
Replica of this Most EMDs in the base shop. Base shop. Let's rep it. Let's run it. It's down here. Let's run it. I don't think it's fair, but no, we're running. So what do we get? We're running. What do y'all want? The bat.
You get what? The bat. So they got an LAL bat. They ain't seen that bat in about a month. A couple Sundays, man. That bat been right there with us, man, for the last month and a half. Cause he felt froggy, man. We said we want a maroon bat and we get they bat.
Hey, bro.
We've
What?
to go
Hey,
crazy.
y'all should have never let me see this.
Yeah, I got
Oh
it.
no, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I want to turn it
Yeah,
up.
it's different.
I
It's
want
different.
fades every
It's
day.
different.
No, we got podcasts every day.
I need that.
Yeah, come on.
All right, bro. We got to slowly wrap this up. We got
Yes,
another.
sir.
Good,
we got
man.
about 11 minutes maybe because we got another
good,
podcast coming
man.
in at 7.
You
Well,
working, you
what are some
grinding.
final thoughts, man? Anything else we
grinding.
want to get off our chest while we got some time?
Man, I just want to thank you for allowing me to come on this platform in Dallas. And it's crazy the way that it happened. It wasn't even for me. But the fact that I was here with Tarik, it allows me to have opportunity. If I was never introduced into this business, I would have never met you. I would have never met you, Chris, all these leaders, and been able to be on the platform. You know this. I wanted to do a podcast. I was talking about it in the car with my best friend.
Yeah.
We wanted to start a podcast, and this is my first ever podcast.
Oh, no way.
let's
Let's
go.
My
go.
first ever podcast.
First of many.
But I
Yes,
want
sir.
to be in your position, hosting it with some killers like studs like us, man. So I just want to thank you and appreciate you for having me on this platform.
Absolutely, bro.
You don't even understand what it's doing to me right now, and seeing how you operate, how you run it, how everything is just off the dome, off vibrations and things like that. It's powerful, and you don't even know how this is affecting me. For sure.
Well, it's awesome,
go,
man.
man.
I'll say this, man. I've been watching you, bro. I knew about you. Actually, at the last big event, I almost called you out because when we got on stage, they call out.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there.
Big
He was
event?
in
Which big
Greece.
event? Oh, San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
So, cause I was trying to figure somebody to call out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was thinking about. I didn't know you then, but
Yeah.
that's when like your name started buzzing, and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. And then I saw you on Nitty to Be, and I was like, he's in Greece making money. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, respect.
Yeah,
So.
Nah,
Yeah, they
that's-
talking all high and mighty about this grease cat.
I'm
finna grease cat.
Nah, real, man.
nah.
From Greece, man, making the extra $7-10 a month.
Yeah, I'm like,
from Greece,
okay.
man. Yeah, that's legit.
a
But
good
nah,
gig.
all right, man, definitely appreciate you for having us on this podcast, bro. I look forward to seeing you do big things, man,
Yeah.
accomplishing all your goals and dreams. Just to have a platform for us to go out there and educate and just share our message, share our crusade, share our mission. It's everything, bro. Media is everything. Media controls the minds. So with this message going out online, bro, our children's children will be able to go on YouTube, go on Instagram, go on TikTok and see this message. So I definitely appreciate you, man, because media does control the mind, and this was a hell of a message to go out there and push out to the mass. So definitely appreciate it. Appreciate you, Udi, man. Definitely pleasure meeting you first time.
Yep.
Had my man Burks, man. It couldn't have been no better, bro. So it was all love. So I would say, man, for those out there watching, get close. Please get close. Do not blink. This next run is going to be crazy. So many lives is going to be changed. So many people are going to be impacted. So much wealth is going to be generated. So much impact is going to be felt on the world because of this run from these 4 brothers here. So I definitely look forward to seeing y'all soon. Well Connected Worldwide. We here. We with my man R, Udi, Burks. We here, baby. Don't blink.
Nah, for real.
Hey man, I can't follow that up.
I know. That was kind of
Hey,
That's kind
you ain't for that.
That's
Nah.
kinda, I just looked over and like,
Yeah, Lee. He said worldwide.
Hey, worldwide,
And
man.
we're out.
From Maryland to Texas, from Dallas, man. All praise to God, though, man.
Nah, for
Without him, none of this would be possible. So, super aligned, super grateful. Let's do it. Let's
Yes,
win.
sir.
let's go, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm just excited, super excited. Appreciate you for having me on. My first time on, probably the first of many.
Of course.
Yeah, so super excited. Man, this run's about to be nice. And it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that I can't wait for you to open your eyes, open your ears to what's being said right now, and what you're gonna look back on and say, Okay, I see what you was doing. So
One day, we're gonna redo this in front of hundreds of thousands. I'll say maybe tens of thousands of people.
I was just,
So it's gonna be first and many. Anytime you're all in town, we're gonna do this again.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
So
yeah.
Let's
appreciate
go.
you guys, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Boom.